Hello everybody. How are you doing? Just having a look now at if you're all in frame. And opening it up so I can see who comes into chat and say hello tonight. Alrighty. So now that I can see, straighten you up a little bit. How's that? Right. So, tonight's acrylic pour is about using up leftover paints because you really can't leave them too long. So, sometimes when you've got that little bit left over and you keep it all so that you can use it again for something else. It doesn't always keep forever, especially if you want to keep them unmixed. So if you have green, yellow, white, maybe even blue, all in the one cup, and you've saved that, you can't let it sit too long because sometimes between the paints and the mediums, they can separate a little. And if you're not going to be able to mix it back in, then it's thicker on the bottom. The top is more fluid because it's starting to try and do that separation. So yeah, you really can't leave it too long. So I thought best we get onto it now. So I'm going to start with this large cup. And the thing is, what I'm going to do is I'm not going to try and get out all the rest, every single drop that's left in them, because sometimes it can also have started thickening around the sides. G'day. And Grace, how are you going, lovely? So I'll start with that. And what we have to use is some of the gold, some of the silver. We have a lot of this one, which is so full, it's like crazy. And this is from the very first gold and white. And there has been some separation there. So what I'm going to do, tip off some of that top section and pour it back in. It's kind of like stirring it, but not. It's by just moving the paints. Okay, so that's freshened that up a little bit. So I'll put a dollop in there, into that white. And then we have, this is green, gold, yellow, white. So let's put some of that in there. Not all of it, save some of it for another layer. And this one is silver. So this was mostly the Montmartre silver. I don't know what this is going to create, but it's well worth utilizing the paint instead of having it just sit there. Okay. Right, so I just had a paint that I was going to use. It was another gold and white. But there was, if I can find it, okay, ready? The biggest glob. Oh, yuck. And that's from having it sit there. Okay, so that's why it's great to use it. As soon as you can afterwards. Hi Celine, how are you going? And Gina Bina, how are you? Thanks so much for coming in to watch. We're just going to use some leftover paints. So we will do some from this cup now. So this is various greens. So it's pretty much a green and metallic pour. So let's do some gold now. And I thought doing a straight pour and moving it. I can't remember what I wrote. You're good. I'm pleased. Very pleased. I wasn't sure whether it was a traveling straight pour or a wandering straight pour. So, there we go. I think we're just about out of, go back to this one with the gold and the yellow. That cup's pretty much full now. Just try and a little bit more of the darker green. The further up high you can drop it from, the further into the paint it can go. And what will we finish that on? Some of this gold and white. There we go. That's it. We're done and we're ready to see how this is going to come out. So there's no silicone in here. Any reactions are based on the paints, excuse me, the pouring medium or the Floetrol, and the metallics. I've already got some effects happening in there. So if you look to the left there, in that silver, and some other areas like over here and in here, this could be really pretty. So let's see. I think you are about there. Let's have a look. So this is going to be a straight pour. So when I tilt the cup, it's just going to flow out. I'm not going to try and do a swirl or anything like that. But I am going to move my center across the canvas. So this is a 20 by 16 inch. So 40 by 50 centimeter canvas. So let's see how we go. It's a big one, bottoms up. I'm just going to start here. Let it create a little bit of an area. And then just start moving slowly across, trying to keep the the flow consistent. Sorry, I'm concentrating at the same time. And as I get further down, I might just pause there so that it builds up like it did at the beginning. Sorry, you probably can't see this bit, so I'm just going to drag it off the canvas. So you can tell there was this white down here. It's much more defined in that area. So I've got those fingerlings, which is awesome. But you can see it's different to up here. So let's see. Excuse me. Alrighty, very pretty. Thank you, Gina. Alright. So I actually did it off center because I thought I might come back. So go this way and then come back. But there was definitely enough to just go the one direction. So let's see about opening it up now. Actually, there's lots of little bubbles, so I'll torch it first. So this is just a chef's torch from a local home kitchen store. And you buy the refillable gas bottles, so you can use it over and over. This trooper's been going for years, and occasionally he just gets wrapped up. And then I'll cut it away because it'll have paint, inks, resin, it'll have everything on it. A couple of times I've even resined the nozzle and the trigger shut, but I've managed to work it through. Okay. You can see those lines definitely stretching out, but I am losing a lot of the design as I didn't put down a base coat or any extra paint to help it flow. So if I create some kind of waves throughout, we'll see what we get. So we've lost our pretty fingerlings. I see a goober. Okay, just pull that back a bit. I'll just get that out while I see it. Okay, so we've just got this final corner to go to. Find a better position to hold it. And straight down, like super tilt. Okay. Well, you can wrap it with press and seal. That works great. Awesome. I have some of that too. It's not readily available in Australia, but I managed to find a a USA store and ordered some. So awesome. Thank you for that. Very dreamy colours. Thank you, Kerry, and welcome. Love my blue gloves. I know, right? I couldn't get my black ones, so the only nitrile ones I could get were these blue ones. Okay. So I'm actually seeing this now as not so much a landscape, but definitely a portrait. So let's just come down and see what has happened. So we got some nice effects up there. Hi, Dina. How you going? Very, very fine lines. I don't know if my lines could be that fine if I did some ripples. That's pretty cool. A swirl technique. Move over here. I like that corner. That's pretty cool. The way it's coming out of there. And then this corner still kind of shows the main areas where it was poured down the center. So there's still some of that in there. So that's cool. All right. Hello, Jane. How you going? All right, so what I'd love to actually try here, I still have a little bit of the dark green in my cup. And because now I'm picturing it portrait, which is actually, I'm feeling that this is the top and this is the bottom. I want to turn it so I am actually looking at it portrait. Okay. Now I know that that sort of cuts off the very top and the very bottom, which is why I don't like positioning it this way initially. But I'm feeling now that this would be a beautiful with the addition of a string dip. So I have my wool here, which is running low. It's no longer in the wool shape. And the skein, if I said that correctly. I'm just going to cut off quite a decent length. And pop it into that dark green cup. Just move that over. Sharon, Vivid Days, how you going? Thanks so much for coming in. All right. So what I like to say is that throughout this video, may you be inspired, learn something new, or simply relax while you're watching. Pop that in there. There isn't a lot left in there, so we're going to make full use of that leftover paint. So what we're doing is just using up leftover paints, and I actually don't believe that I have done this pour before. There are still several that I haven't even tried yet, so I thought if I'm going to use leftover paints, beautiful colours, thank you. Great, nice to catch a live with you. That is awesome. So, yeah, leftover paints, mostly greens, as you can see, and the metallics from the gold and the silver that I did in my previous pours, which I will show you at the end of this video. Try not to drip in the painting. So that looks like it's all coated in there now. So I'm thinking perhaps like just one off center here. So this feels to me like sunshine coming down, and then we'll have this one here. One solo flower. I hope I haven't knotted up my wool, because I like to use, my preference for the string dip is 8-ply acrylic wool. It's a very general wool. You can get it at most stores, craft stores or bargain stores or anything like that. I have tangled this up in the cup. Sorry about that. There we go. So, yeah. It's like a rolling hillside. Yeah. It's very soft, comfortable. Very much my green, that's for sure. Okay, I'm going to put this over this side. My string is very long, so I'll do my best not to bump the camera and or drip on the painting. Come around. Oops, put my arm up. Okay, so I try and flow very freely as I come down. It's giving me a little bit of an argument right now. Just doing a loose S and then coming down to that center line. So notice my center line down the bottom is pretty much in center with the flower, in line with the flower. Okay. Holding breath. Me too, me too. So, all right. So just give it a pull now, trying to maintain the same position that it's here. So you really want to focus that you're pulling this section at the same spot. You can see my hands. Sorry. Yeah, so here. And the rest of it will follow. Don't look at that. Just follow this. So it's good to use 2 fingers or just use one to keep along the side of. And when you've got a really long string like I do, try and scoop it up in your hand so you don't drip everywhere. There's a lot of paint on here, you can see that move. It's that movement of the paint that helps create some of those effects from the string. So just coming down now. all the way down, straight off, just let it fall off. Awesome. There we go. So there's the final result. I'm pretty happy with that. It's turned out to be a great pour from leftover paints. So how does it get any better than that? Beautiful. Thank you. Wow, beautiful. Thank you, thank you. Great job from Gina. I appreciate that. So, all right, let's have a look at the whole thing. So the top, feeling like to me, the sun shining down through to the flower at the base. How do you finish off the excess paint at the bottom, or do you just let it settle? Just let it settle. Yep. Oh gosh, sorry, I'm trying to stretch my camera arm as far as possible for you to see the whole thing. Although, when I look at it through my other device, I can see a lot more of the table than I can see through the viewfinder. Alright, what have we got there? Yes, just let it settle, Sharon. And, you know, it does, and it really won't move very much from there. So, and so pretty. The flower adds to it and gives it more depth. Thank you, Kerry. That is awesome. So I'm not 100% sure I have enough green left, but part of me wants to add more. But I really think going with simplicity can just be stunning. You know, the whole less is more, amazing effects. So, thanks. You're welcome, Sharon. Anything that I can suggest or anything that I can offer in knowledge or experience, I will share, most definitely. Yeah, simple is the best. I think so. So, yeah, I'm stoked with that. Turned out pretty amazing. And there's what looks yellow in here is actually gold. So potentially when this dries, there is going to be, and silver, a bit of a shimmer to it. So that's going to be a good one to keep an eye on. So you appreciate it as fluid art scares me. Oh, Sharon, you're amazing at your resin art. Maybe one day we should link up and we can go through some stuff together. That would be pretty cool. So, alrighty. So, there we have that. I'm going to bring up the gold and silver, gold, white and gold. I'm going to take these gloves off. I don't want to have any paint transference accidentally. We so should. Yeah, totally. Alright. Even rolling my sleeves up for this one. So we started with the gold and white. Just make sure there's nothing on them. So that looks like this. And there you go. So should I have to go back to work now? Oh, thank you. Enjoy the rest of work. Thanks so much for coming in. And I'll be in touch. We'll organise something. Oh, wow. Awesome. So this is the white and gold. Let me try and angle that into, so you've got there, sorry, some gold shimmering through in the light, and it's hard, it's just hard to catch the right angles for that. So that's how the gold looks. Following that, it dried nice. Yeah, it did. We did the silver. Now this one I was worried about having, it seemed like the silver lines came out really thick. I'm just removing the legs so that they don't fall off onto the green painting. I didn't see that video. I generally miss your lives and watch later, but I missed that one. Oh, it's only 3 or 4 back, because then I did this one, the silver, and see how these lines are a lot wider. So you can see some shimmer on the darker silver. So that's there. I do apologise for my stomach. It's going crazy right now, if you can hear that. So that's pretty cool. Dried amazing, as expected. Just so it seems that the silver doesn't react anywhere near as much as the gold does. And I mustn't have put as many layers into the puddle to have more lines and thinner lines, because each layer of the puddle pushes it out a little bit more. So that brings us to the gold and white, silver and the white, the two-tone gold and silver with the white. So that looks awesome. Got tons of reactions. Not as much as on the gold one alone, but definitely full of reactions there. And the lines are outstanding. So bring it down. You've got a bit of gold in there for sure. Let's see. See the silver, the gold. So there we go. That was pretty much my idea for creating not really a triptych, but a set of 3, whereas one's got the gold and white, one's got the silver and white, and mash it together in the middle for the gold, silver and white. But to do that, I feel that I would need to do the silver again with extra puddles and thinner lines, just to try and match it up with the other ones. So there we go. That's what they turned out like, dry. Fabulous. That one is gorgeous. Thank you very much. So yeah, wow. Yeah, so this has been wonderful. Thank you so much for coming in to watch. I'm exceedingly happy with this one. Stoked with those results of the metallic and white. So yeah, now that I've shared that with you, I'd like to say, if you haven't subscribed already, please consider doing so. And leave me a thumbs up on the way out. Leave a comment below for those watching the replay, and for everyone, please share it. Please share it with someone who might appreciate this kind of art form, or somebody that you think this might inspire. So that is a great way to help support us creators, so, and get us out there to help build our channel. So have a wonderful night, Tracy. Thank you. Oh, my pleasure, Gina. Thank you so much for coming in. I really appreciate it. And with all of that, you guys are absolutely amazing, and I appreciate you so much. So if you have to go anywhere, please take care. Do what you need to do to look after yourself. And from myself, always, be kind, be creative, and be fabulous. Bye. Thank you, Carrie.